Hello children, welcome back to assessment 2 of grade 8. Okay, we have got a certain syllabus. Okay, there are probably 3 lessons now coming up. Uh, but we are going to start with health and hygiene first. Okay, yes, so I was saying that we have got which lessons? See, we have got reproduction in animals this time. Then we have human body control and coordination, that is fourth lesson. We have the circulatory system, fifth lesson, and health and hygiene as the sixth lesson. Okay, till last year, human body 1 and 2 was one lesson. Anyway, what I want to tell you is so amongst the remaining lessons, we are going to first start up with health and hygiene first. The reason being that it is possible that we will keep health and hygiene only for the internal assessment, which is not yet fixed. Okay, so that your portion which covers reproduction in animals and human body, which has two parts, control and coordination, actually that means nervous system, right, and the circulatory system, they both are a bit lengthy in the sense, okay, may not be very long, but then content wise they are very deep. So we teachers are trying to do this, that let us keep health and hygiene being very easy. Okay, there is not much of any kind of difficult terms and all to understand. Let us see how it goes. So let us begin with health and hygiene first, so that in case we have to take up with your cycle test and all, we will start we'll keep health and hygiene for it. Okay, that's the reason we are starting with health and hygiene now. So to begin with the objectives of the lesson, we are here to understand and know the meaning of health first thing. Then we need to understand what are diseases and the measures to prevent them. I think the current happening, whatever we are facing right now, is all because of one disease, right? And okay, then meaning of addictive substances, and we are going to study few examples about them. We are going to see what kind of side effects actually they have in our body, on our body. And to understand first aid probably you have been studying this when you were too small, and this time also we are going to cover this topic because it is an important topic. Okay, it could happen to anyone anytime, so you should know what first aid is to be given, and there are certain examples here also that in certain few situations what kind of first aid can be given. So to begin with health now, health very important aspect. Like today we are going to because of this covid pandemic, yeah, the first preference we are giving is to our health. Everybody is talking about immunity, yes, but then is how is your immunity going to boost up? It's not just the proper diet, it has something to relate with your social well-being as well. Okay, and also obviously your mental state along with your physical state. Okay, so the definition is it is a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being, and not merely an absence of the disease. Okay, so if in case we are not suffering from any kind of a disease, doesn't mean that we are healthy, in short. Okay, as straight as that. It means that how are you socially sound, are you okay in your mental state, how is your physic. It has to be a combination of all the three. Now nobody is going to be very perfect in all the three things, but you should be at least majorly okay. Physically you have to be really good, because there your immunity plays a major part. But then mental state is as equally important, because what thoughts you carry ultimately has an impact on your body. You know, in treatments like cancers and everything, like even in covid now, they all talk about be strong mentally. Why? Because then ultimately it our each and every cell of the body reacts to what kind of thoughts we have. If they are all going to be very positive, yeah, they are going to help us to recover. But if it is we are already discouraged, we are already afraid of something, then okay, they will also give up. Also your social well-being is more of how are you able to carry yourself among, say, your friend circle and all. Are you able to mix up with them? It's not that everybody has to be an extrovert or something, but at least be a part of it. There is a reason for that, right? No, so that you are able to communicate, you're able to carry forward your thoughts, you're able to share, you're able to take some knowledge, some inputs, Lot of reasons. Okay, so it is health is very important in all the three spheres of your life. Activities like eating healthy food, exercising regularly, taking rest helps us to stay healthy. Yeah, now this is all about what is in our hand. At least we can eat properly, right? Eat, have proper food, we can exercise regularly, and then we are supposed to take proper rest. I am not very sure nowadays in this where we are wholly and solely relying on this technical things. How are you able to manage yourself? Are you making proper use of these gadgets like mobile or laptops or whatever desktop you're having? Or are you just busy playing games and I don't know what else? You think that okay, nobody's going to notice you, this and that, okay, but then just remember that everything is going to have some kind of impact later. I just hope nothing gets addictive to you. You're grown up enough to understand to have a proper sleep, to take proper diet, exercise regularly, okay. Diseases, yeah, in case we are not being careful about all these three things, we play too many tantrums in front of our parents about the food. I don't want to eat this, I don't want to eat that, and then we do not eat properly, we do not get proper nutrients, okay, and then we are not ready to socialize much, we don't want to talk to people much, we want to isolate ourselves, and then we don't want to go outside and play anything, we simply want to stick to our gadgets and keep on playing on those online games. I don't know what kind of a joy you get, probably it is par my age now, I do not understand, but somewhere you have to think that there are many positive uses of these gadgets where you can learn and make some career into it rather than just wasting away your time, okay. So in case we are not able to do this, then our body gives up somewhere and then we start suffering from diseases, okay. Definition is a particular state of organs in which an organ system of organism, sorry, in which an organ system of the body fails to function normally. Yeah, it could be any part of the organism. We know that every organism has got organ systems like breathing, excretory system, respiratory system, nervous system, circulatory system. So any one part not functioning, the entire organ system affects, and slowly, if it is not controlled, it will spread out to the entire body. We can make them out with some signs and symptoms, okay. So there are certain, the body will start showing up, okay, that there is something wrong in your body. They can be transmitted, yeah, these, there are now two communicable, there are two, sorry, kind of diseases, that some are communicable, some are not. So communicable diseases can be transmitted from one person to another healthy person as well. There are certain microorganisms like virus, bacteria and fungi called as germs. So all of these categories, microorganisms, if there are some useful, they are also harmful. So these are the ones carry diseases and they spread, and they are called as germs. Any infectious agent or an organism that cause disease is called a pathogen. These are important definitions, okay. Now what is pathogen? Now any microorganism which is going to transmit disease from one person to other, it becomes an agent, right? So that agent is going to be called as pathogen, right? Now here is a table in your textbook. It's a huge table, okay, with all the parameters, like first is disease, then is causative pathogen, then is symptom, and last is preventive measures. First one we are going to study is cholera. The name of the disease is cholera. What is the which is the pathogen? The germ that causes this cholera is Vibrio cholera. Okay, it is Vibrio. It has to be Vibrio. O is missing there. So this is the name of a bacteria. If you remember, we have studied the shapes and types of bacteria. Okay, symptom is diarrhea, vomiting, and dehydration. So you're going to keep throwing out the food from your body in the form of diarrhea, in the form of vomiting, and ultimately it leads to less water content and then dehydration. And so what are we going to do? Drink chlorinated water, boil water, wash hands, and do not eat uncovered food. Cholera mainly comes from drinking impure water actually. So you have to be careful about that. I want you, I've already given an assignment, so you're going to make this kind of a chart. You're going to write all this. Today we are not covering all of them, only few, because at a stretch it will be too much for you. So next disease is typhoid. Salmonella is the name of the bacteria that is causing this disease. Okay, the symptom being fever, headache, and rashes. Now you need to you'll have to learn this kind of what kind of symptoms are there, then what are the preventive measures. Maybe there will be a table straight away of 5 marks to be filled in. There will be various blanks. So here, yes, how can we prevent typhoid? Clean clean water to drink, no unclean food, hygiene and sanitation should be maintained. Fine. Next is influenza. In this kind of a climate, it spreads very fast. Flu. Okay. In short, it is also called as flu. It is a virus. Symptom is fever and body ache. High fever we get, and because of that, body starts paining. Wash hands regularly. No close contact with the people having cold. Yeah, seen everywhere. I think wash hands, hygiene, sanitation is playing a major part. Even for this COVID, what are we telling? Wash your hands, use sanitizer. What do you say? Do not go out. Do not expose yourself outside. And if you go, then wash those clothes and keep yourself hygienic and sanitized all the time. Next is poliomyelitis. Polio virus. So if you remember, we take so many kind of polio doses in our childhood, and that is to prevent polio. What happens otherwise? The limbs get paralyzed. Okay, limbs get paralyzed, and the only thing which can prevent is vaccine. Take all the regular doses, and that will help your body to get give a strong fight against this kind of a virus, polio virus. Next is chickenpox. The name of the pathogen is varicella virus. Okay, and symptom is rashes and pock marks on abdomen and back. There are large red marks which appear, okay, on abdomen and back. And again, here also it can be prevented with the help of vaccines. Chickenpox, a lot of children I think face this. If you have gone through this, you might be knowing what is it, right? And then it spreads when it is about to mature in a particular person. It immediately gets transmitted to the other person. So the name of the pathogen is varicella virus. Next is ringworm. There are two pathogens here, trichophyton and microsporum. Sorry, yeah. Now these are not viruses or bacteria. This is a fungi. Okay, yeah. Trichophyton and microsporum. These are the names of the pathogens, and these are the names of fungi. They are going to create red ring-shaped rash. Okay, you can see there are examples on the net. I didn't want to download these pictures, and sometimes they look really horrible. So instead of showing it over here, you can individually just surf it out how they look. Yeah, it is obviously a worm that is circular in nature. That is why it is called as ringworm. How are we supposed to avoid it? By maintaining proper hygiene, no sharing of personal things. See, when we do not probably some kids actually are lazy enough to not to take a bath daily, or keep themselves proper with the proper hygiene. They go out, they play, but they do not go through the proper wash of their hands and legs. That is how the germs keep on building up, and then you're exposed to such kind of viruses. So that's it for the day, children. I have covered not many. How many have I covered? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the diseases, their causative pathogen, symptoms, preventive measures. Before that, we saw important definitions of a pathogen here, germs. Then we saw what is definition of disease and what is definition of health. Okay, very important. I told you that we are beginning with health and hygiene so that things become easy for you, because we have got two important systems coming up, nervous system and circulatory system, and the concepts are quite important in that, which you will have to study in further grades. Health and hygiene is also there, but health and hygiene is not that difficult as the other two lessons. So please, children, let us gear up for the next assessment. And actually we have taken up a very easy topic for you then. Okay, so try to gain as much as possible from this lesson, and try to be hygienic and healthy, and understand how important it is for your own sake, for your own life, and for the life of your loved ones, for your family members, right? Yes. So till next session, all of you please take care. See you soon.